August 12, Friday, 5:26 a.m. It's one of my early morning vlogs. So I was thinking about the last video I posted, where I was talking about me being a narcissist or something. I don't know. I think that word gets used way too much. I've noticed, like, I've seen a lot of videos within this narcissism community, and I feel like they use the word narcissism for everything, and it's like, I don't know if that's really a proper way to use that term. I feel like it's getting used for almost every kind of toxic or behavior, like problematic behavior or whatever. But I just want to say that, you know, I do need to respect people's boundaries, and I also need to respect my own boundaries. But this is a work in progress. I know I'm sounding very defensive, but it is a work in progress. And when you do work on yourself, and I'm using these videos as a sort of therapy. When you work on yourself, it's sometimes you deal with difficult emotions, right? And if you're being honest with yourself, things can get very confusing. That's why, when you go to, like, what I'm doing now is very amateur therapy, but in a professional setting, when you talk to a therapist or whatever, there are clear boundaries and stuff, so you can talk about all of these crazy, difficult issues, and there is a protection of the boundary. But because I'm doing amateur therapy, I don't want to freak people out by my videos, like, and I mean, I have a problem, like, if I like people or whatever, I'm worried that I can get abusive to people who I care about because of all of my issues coming to the surface. It seems like the closer I get to someone, the more likely that all of my stuff, all of my baggage, all of my fears and insecurities, they just come out. So yeah, and I don't, I hate talking about these topics. They're very difficult. But I don't know what to do. I mean, this is what I just, at this point in my life, the best thing I can do is just make videos. And I just ask that people keep very strong boundaries when dealing with me, because I don't think I'm in a good place mentally. I mean, when I say that, it's not like. Let me put it this way: I'm trying to work on my mental health issues, my emotional trauma, whatever you want to call it. I'm trying to work on it, and I make videos. I talk about it on videos for the most part. I would just say that when interacting with me or whatever, just bear in mind that yeah, bear in mind like I am kind of unstable. Now, I'm not saying I'm unstable all the time. No, it's only I only get emotionally crazy when I try to unearth what's all in here. When you go to your traumatic places, for me, I don't know what when it comes up. I guess one of the triggers is when it's this kind of insecurity of I don't know. I use the phrase insecure attachment, whatever, but it's something very mm, feeling. I'm a very needy person. I think this is what it is. I'm extremely needy, and I'm always seeking validation and attention, reassurance from other people that they're not going to leave me, or they're not going to leave me. They're not going to abandon me, or they're not going to. Yeah, that's what it is. To me, it's this whole abandonment issue where I feel like if I get close to someone or whatever, I feel like they're going to leave me. And that the idea that they might leave me or they might dislike me, creates this fawn or flight, creates my panic response. And to me, it's usually to fawn. Now, was it fawn, flight, fight, defend, or whatever? I take my approach to being threatened is to fawn, usually. A fawn, or yeah, fawn. Uh, you know, some people fight. I don't do that. I just don't do that. Rarely. Sometimes I might explode in crazy bouts of anger, which has happened on a few occasions. But usually my response to being threatened is to fawn, is to try and appease the other person, make them feel comfortable. So my trauma issue is fear of abandonment. So when I get close to someone, I feel like I get very insecure because I feel like they're going to leave me, or I mean, people have a right to leave. You know, I'm not saying that no one should leave, but this is my fear. This is why I'm getting afraid to get close to people. Is because I know when I get close to people, this whole fear of abandonment, this trauma, these feelings come up, and I might be very difficult to be with because I'm always very needy. I constantly need reassurance that you're not going to leave me, you're not going to abandon me, you're not going to, you know. So, and that, because my neediness for reassurance can be difficult for someone to handle, right? Not everyone can handle it. And no one should have to handle my neediness, right? No one should have to handle it. So, look, I'm just being honest. I care about people. I care about some specific people, particularly, and my response in the past has been to just stay away because I know if I try and get close to people I care about, I know how I can be a very difficult person to deal with because I'm very needy. I have a very I have a need for reassurance that you're not going to abandon me because I find that feeling to be so painful. That's how I experience it. So, like I said, I'm using these videos as to help me work out on my issues, but at the same time, because this is not a professional therapeutic setting, uh, I might not be able to respect people's boundaries all the time. That's why the people on the other side who who can see this and who are in a better vantage point than me should probably, you know, keep strong boundaries when dealing with me because I am the patient. I am the patient. I mean, I am also like not just a patient. I'm also perhaps a friend. So it's like that's why this is an amateur thing. Like the you can be a friend as well as being a yeah. Just you can be my friend, but know that you need to keep very strong boundaries when dealing with me because when I get close to people or I feel like I'm getting close to people, I have this fear of abandonment and I get very needy and clingy. And my usual response to this threat or this fear of being abandoned, which creates a lot of pain in me, my usual response is to fawn. But it's possible that I can uh, lash out. It's possible that I can lash out at people. So I don't want to do that. So it's a response mechanism to feeling threatened. It might the perception of abandonment might just be in my head. Like so, the other person might not be seeking to abandon me or whatever, but the perception, whether it's real or imagined, is what creates this response of fawning, trying to please people, trying to get them to reassure me that they're not going to leave me or abandon me. And it might also lead to a fight, which is to lash out, or flight, which is to run away. And I've done this before, running away. I guess when I delete some of my channels, I've deleted things in the past. I think sometimes I did it out of stress from YouTube, but other times I did the flight thing where when things were becoming difficult, perhaps a lot of people do this. They just run away. Their response to whatever they're feeling threatened. It's not all people will have the abandonment issue, but yeah. So I have done mostly fawning. I've done flight. I've rarely done fight because I don't think I'm that aggressive. I hate that. I hate being an aggressive person because it triggers all of these things from my childhood when you know, when you witness violence and stuff, all of that. I just don't want to be an aggressive person. Or the other one is to just be defensive or something. Fawn, flight, fright, or fright. Maybe you feel frightened. Yeah, yeah. I think I get the frightened thing. Anyway, another one's fight. So yeah, one of my big traumatic issues is the fear of abandonment, and one of my responses to that when I get close to people is to either seek constant reassurance, which can be difficult to deal with, or I run away, or yeah, I don't want to run away because what's the point of running away? I mean, it's just I want to deal with this fear. Uh, but it's good for people to keep strong boundaries when dealing with me. You know, even if I care about, I do care about people. But the thing is, because, like I said, when I feel like I'm getting close to people or close to someone, I get this fear that they're gonna leave me. My usual response is to fawn, please people, get them to like me. But sometimes I flee, run away. I rarely. Oh, sometimes. Well, fright seems to me like it's almost always going to happen. Fight. Yeah, I don't want to lash out at people, especially people I care about. Anyway, so those are my thoughts on this whole fear of abandonment and yeah.